The Trevor Noah Foundation envisions a world where education enables the youth to dream, see, and build the impossible. Teachers are a core part of this mission, which is why our Education Changemakers initiative empowers them to explore, imagine, and design innovative solutions to the challenges they face every day. We have partnered with the Young African Leaders Initiative to help these teachers bring their ideas to life. Kabelo and Bonang want to make red pens and hand cramps a thing of the past with their breakthrough marking app. It would help educators spend less time grading papers and more time teaching or, watching Netflix. They've earned the break.
This is my 4th year as a teacher practicing in the classroom. For me, education is always about producing independent thinkers, being innovative and bringing about solutions.
Like as a teacher, what I've seen is that we try by all means to close the gap in empowering learners, but no one speaks about empowering teachers. And when you check, you see that teachers always have got a mountain of work to deal with.
I had an initiative originally, to empower teachers and give them some trainings. It is from that initiative that we came up with a collaboration that we're working on now, which is called the Marking App. So far, we've managed to do a few. We've managed to register the company. We've done some copyright. We've managed to design the app, which was the biggest and the most challenging task. And right now, the design is being coded, which we are going to use as our minimum viable product to try and grow it, try and get more sponsorship, try and get more investment into the company.
Most of the teachers in the ground are very old, so they are resistant to new ideas. They might not be willing to use this new idea. And again, the bad handwriting of learners, like myself, I know most learners, they have got bad handwriting, so it is going to give us challenges for the app to detect those handwritings. So we might still have a challenge where after using the app, but you still have some scripts to mark using your own hand.
So we want to be able to enable teachers to use technology effectively in class for them to be able to do administration work so that they can focus their time teaching in class and giving learners quality education. Because we realized during our research that actually teachers spend teaching time marking formal assessments because they want to be able to have the administration. But at the end of the day, learners get affected because they lose the essential time for them to receive quality education. Through the Trevor Noah Foundation, I've managed to now have that different perspective and different outlook of the world. I've got access to a huge network of people now that is more valuable than any money can buy.
Vera seeks to lift African children through a low-cost educational tool called Tune Notebook, which would make learning relevant and fun. Something little Trevor definitely could have used when he was learning long division.
My journey as a teacher started in the year 2017. I started a part-time job at a kindergarten. It was a private preschool. So when I got there, I expected that I would find everything, like the things that are required for preschool, because I've always had a passion for preschool and early childhood development. So the Tune Notebook Early Childhood Development Capacity Boosting project, part of which is here, what we've started here, is a book that is all encompassing. It's pretty much the Montessori inspired syllabus done in a Malawian context, in an African context, because we don't want to limit this to just Malawi. Now we are designing the prototype, bearing in mind that we just might produce the final thing ourselves here in Malawi. We've also tried out the concept, the sustainability concept, because with COVID, for most local schools, they just shut down. They didn't even send materials to students. The Trevor Noah Foundation has already put us on the right path to develop this thing. This is the heads up that we wanted. The grant is being used in the development of this thing. The editing team, the illustrators, the writers. It's such a huge thing that Trevor Noah has helped to take off our shoulders. I think the push that they've given us, and they've given me especially, is not just the monetary. It has been more on the psychological affirmation. They have put us on a path that will never change.
And Nombali supports parents in assisting their children with homework after school, because every kid's first classroom is their own home.
Ever since the beginning of my journey as a teacher, I realized that our biggest problems is there are high levels of low performance now in our school, and more specifically, I want to say in my grade or in my class. And obviously, you investigate as a teacher what could be the reason behind the low performance. And one of the factors is the big numbers in the classrooms. Like sometimes you can get up to 65 learners for the foundation phase. And another reason is lack of parental involvement. Upon speaking to some parents, they did express that the reason why they aren't able to help their children with their homework or even just with any schoolwork, with any education-related things, it's because they themselves are illiterate. That's how I came up with this project. Imfundo Aikhulelwa is aimed at equipping parents with the knowledge that they need in order for them to help their children with their education journey. Wanting to help the parents with their education, helping them with literacy skills, basics such like reading and writing, so that they too can now be able to help their kids at home. The biggest challenge is most definitely going to be meeting. I could reach out to them via WhatsApp or any other medium, but it's not the same as having them in the classroom. The grant that I received, I've planned that I'm going to buy school bags for the parents, stationery, of course, and at this point now there's going to be big need for data, and I might actually have to buy data for some of the parents who actually can't afford it. One of the biggest things is I'm currently working on a training manual for the parents, so I need to compile that, the printing, so the money will go towards such things. My idea for the project has evolved a bit because some of the parents that I've already met with last year did say that they are literate, and so it was not so much as teaching them how to read and write, but more training them to teach their children. So using the training the trainer method. So that's what I'm going to do now. Obviously, if there are still parents who have issues with reading and writing, they can still be accommodated within this new model, but that's the shift that the project has taken now. The key motivations that drive me to want this initiative to be a success. Obviously, for parents who cannot read or write, I can just imagine being a parent when your child asks you for help, and it must be embarrassing. And I mean, I did have one parent call me outside my class and say, I know that my child is struggling, and I've received notes asking me to come to the school to see the progress, but I actually have had to give my neighbors to read the notes to me, and it's so embarrassing for me to admit that to even my neighbors, but worst of all to my child. The success of this project is to remove that stigma, for parents to be able to help their children, for them themselves to be empowered. When they're empowered, they're able to empower their children, and therefore we get a better performance in our classrooms.